to be a judge is to be independent and impartial, and that is the core element of what it means to be a judge.
And the system only has credibility if judges have credibility.
What I think of when you say judicial independence is a judiciary that is free from untoward influences, the kind of influences that are not supposed to matter to a fair and impartial judge.
We don't swear to uphold the principles of a party or the principles of an ideology, the principles of a religion, anything else. There's only one thing. It's to defend the Constitution of the United States of America, and that's all we have to do then.
I could put on a white jacket and put a stethoscope around my neck and walk down the halls in the hospital. I wouldn't be a doctor. And the same token, I can put on a black robe and I can sit up on the bench. I'm not a judge unless I am independent and I'm considering the merits of the legal arguments and I'm making decisions based on the law and only on the law.
When we take that oath and we raise our right hand, we swear to uphold the Constitution.
And I have to say, as a judge, it's very rare and perhaps almost never occurs that everyone in the courtroom is happy with what you decide.
We do not favor a party over the other, that we are instead trying our very best to get the answer right.
What you do want as a judge is for folks who at least are being open-minded about it, when they leave the courtroom to say, I was treated fairly in that case. I may have won, I may have lost, but at least I was treated fairly. And that's, as a judge, what's most important to me.
Judges are serving at the trust of the people who come into the courtroom. And if I violate that trust, I've failed in my job. Remember, my job is very simple. Follow the Constitution. And that means being independent.
What's unique about the American constitutional system and its checks and balances is that, unlike in foreign countries, judges here are appointed for life.
My determination, if it's contrary to one party or the other, I don't get fired, I don't get removed.
As a result, we are under no political pressure from whatever ruling party may govern to follow that party's wishes.
We are independent in that we are not beholden to any one group. We are not subject to outside pressures, to orientation, to outcome, to politics in particular.
Lots of times I really wish that I could reach out and pick the cases and the issues that I want to decide, the ones I think are the most interesting or the ones that are most in need of decision, but no, we don't get to do that.
We only resolve those legal issues that are presented to us. It is not our role to go outside of the courthouse and drum up business.
Issues come to the court when parties file a lawsuit with a specific set of facts. All of the parties have a story. They present that story to me.
It's important that we appreciate that we all have biases and that we try and identify those biases, and then we consciously try and make sure that we don't let those biases impact on how we decide cases.
Putting on the robe, literally, is, I think, to me, every time I put it on, I'm reminding myself, this is that I'm trying to take off my partiality and my biases, and I'm trying to put on this cloak of impartiality.
Federal judges certainly do not have unlimited power. We are subject to the rule of law, to the facts that are presented to us, to applying the law as made by Congress.
And if Congress passes a law that's challenged under the Constitution, the judiciary has the power to say that law violates the Constitution and to strike it down. But that's not the end of the story.
If I get it wrong, I have a court of appeals who can tell me, you got it wrong. And that's not a bad thing. That is a terrific thing. That is something that we take great comfort in, knowing that our courts of appeals will tell us when we get things wrong and will then allow us to make them right. And that review process doesn't stop at the courts of appeals. It goes all the way to the United States Supreme Court.
If the judiciary holds a law unconstitutional, the Congress can always modify that law based on the judge's decision. That happens all the time.
Every day that you walk out of your house and walk down the street, you are exercising your rights under the Constitution.
We are totally independent, and that matters to you because think of your First Amendment rights.
You have the right to speak, the right to publish, the right to worship as you choose, the right to assemble with others, the right to petition your government.
Our job is to make sure that your rights aren't violated. If there is an independent and fair judiciary, that is not only for all aspects of the government, but even in people in their everyday lives.
Who protects you when the government interferes with those rights that are stated in the First Amendment of the Constitution? The judiciary does.
Waiting in the wings, a fair and impartial judge who will make sure that your constitutional rights are protected.
Where you have a free and independent judiciary, and countries where you have that, you see freedom flourish.
Having judges who impartially apply the Constitution is what ultimately makes this a democracy, and it's what protects every citizen in this country.
The judiciary, as an independent body, independent from the other branches of government, ought to give you optimism about our system and about our country.